Meanwhile, German Chancellor Angela Merkel is dealing with fallout from her handling of the refugee crisis in Europe. Negotiations to form a new government have collapsed, leaving Europe's largest and most important economy now in limbo. Merkel has spent weeks trying to stitch together a coalition government between four parties to combat the rising popularity of the far-right AfD party. Nala Ayed has more.
You'll remember that sigh of relief we heard in many corners when Merkel won that fourth term. But what we're hearing today is the anti-sigh and all the hand-wringing starting all over again, because Germany now seems on the cusp of the end of an era. And Merkel even hinted as much today by calling it a historic day. For 12 years, Merkel ruled with coalitions and has been there through 3 Canadian prime ministers, 4 British ones, and 3 U.S. presidents. Her secret? In the words of a former campaign manager, is that she headed up a big tent party. That's a little bit like an IKEA store, he says, because it has something for everybody. But the Merkel stability streak has been interrupted, and the whole world is feeling it.
What do you think about the situation in Germany?
European leaders who are eager to get on with their business don't like what they see. There's a lot on their plates. There's reforming the EU. That's French President Emmanuel Macron's biggest concern. And Brexit, which is everybody's concern, both in the EU and well beyond. Plus, don't forget, through the unpredictability of the Trump era, Merkel has been seen as an anchor for the liberal world order. Moving forward, Merkel was pretty clear about her preference today, saying she'd much rather go through elections again than try to form a minority government. But calling an election is up to the president. And today he encouraged compromise. So Merkel could try for another round of talks with the same parties, or she could try to persuade her usual partners, the Social Democratic Party, to form a coalition. If all fails, the vote probably goes ahead. That would probably give the far-right AfD party more oxygen and possibly more votes. And the issues that prevented a coalition this time could come up again. Just about every option available to Merkel will siphon away some of her power. It is an end of an era, no doubt. But it's not clear yet that this is how Europe's longest-serving leader will go out altogether. Nala Ayed, CBC News, London.
Now, many say the political turning point for Angela Merkel came in the fall of 2015. Smiles and applause there, but many Germans didn't actually feel that way then, and they certainly don't now. Angela Merkel opened Germany's borders to migrants fleeing the war in Syria, among others. More than 1 million people came, and the backlash was immediate. Merkel quickly lost ground in the polls, and the right-wing Alternative for Germany party experienced a sharp upswing. Far-right parties continue to grow in influence and prominence across Europe. In Austria, the far-right Freedom Party won nearly a third of the national vote in September. It is now in talks to form a coalition government. The Party for Freedom leads the opposition in Dutch parliament. Hungary's ruling right-wing party is likely to win a third straight term on a fierce anti-immigrant message. In Italy, the Northern League has the support of about 15% of Italians heading into an election year. And the neo-Nazi organization Golden Dawn is now the third most popular party in Greece.